Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Burn the Ships 850. I'm here today with Becky Kuiper with the Saltville Grotto and Spa out of Snellville, Georgia. Welcome, Becky.
Thanks, Sherry. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. We're glad to have you. How did you get started with the
Well,
spa?
so we lean really hard into all things salty. I got started back in 2020 when I moved to Georgia for a brief moment. And I needed a job, and I just happened to go there for a session, for a salt cave session, which is called halotherapy. We'll talk about that in a second. And I just happened to ask the lady, I was like, yeah, if you need anybody to ever answer phones or whatever, just let me know. And about 3 days later, she called me and she was like, I need somebody to run the desk. I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. So I worked there until February of 2022 when she had to close because of some health issues. And then a lady reached out to me, Krista Wright, in July of 2022 and said, hey, I'm thinking about buying the salt cave. What if I do this? And I said, you'll have a good business. And she said, will you come back and work for me and get it up and running? And so 2022, September 1st of 2022, we started off and running as Saltville Grotto and Spa. And we've kind of been running nonstop since.
Wow, I'm really intrigued. I don't know anything about salt caves. What all do you do there? And what is a salt cave?
Okay, so first, let me say what all we do there. So we do all kinds of things. We do the salt cave is for a treatment called halotherapy, which is where we take pharmaceutical grade Himalayan salt, grind it into a really fine powder, and there's this little machine called a halo generator, and it blows the particles into the room. So when you breathe those particles in, it starts to break up all of the mucus and the stuff that's stuck in the head, the ears, the nose, lungs. So if you have chronic respiratory issues, if you have chronic allergies, things like that, it's a really good treatment for that because it breaks it all up. Himalayan salt is antibacterial, antimicrobial, antiviral, and antifungal. So nothing can really live or grow or exist in that room. It's almost as sterile as a hospital room because of the amount of salt. We've got 48,000 pounds and about 450 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so pretty. So it's got that orange glow that a Himalayan salt lamp may have. It's got that, and it's just really a lovely space. And basically what we tell everybody, it's the best nap in Georgia because people come in to the space, they settle down, they take their time out, and they fall asleep.
It sounds wonderful.
Yeah, there's lots of snoring that happens, but we've got earplugs for that too, in case. So we do have the salt cave. That is our main attraction. That is the reason why Krista actually bought the business, because it was already built and there in the space. Then we added 2 sensory deprivation float tanks. Say that 10 times fast. So 2 sensory deprivation tanks. We've got an infrared sauna. We do massage. We do crystal massage, which is with gemstones. We have a practitioner that works on that. We do Reiki and energy healing. We can talk about that. We've got ionic foot detox machines. We do couples massage. I mean, we do yoga classes. We do special events. We do all kinds of stuff.
So much offered. Yes, you are. Yeah. Tell me about the Reiki.
Okay, so
did I say it right?
Reiki. I've heard it every thousands of different ways. So Reiki is an ancient Japanese practice of energy healing. So we've got these energy points in our body. We are made up of energy. And just like we can get frozen shoulder, the energy in our body can lock up and not move. So if you have digestive issues, if you, let's just say you can't go to the bathroom very well. I know that's not a pleasant topic, but let's be real. We're all human. It happens to all of us. So you have some digestive issues, a Reiki practitioner can go in, and what they do is they focus that energy into getting that stuff moving again. Okay. So you can feel tingles, you can feel heat on the body, you can feel people get cold chills, people start crying. It's one of the things I learned years ago that made me aware that we are not just these meat suits. If that makes sense. Yes. So the practitioner, we have 45 and 55-minute sessions that you can come in. You lay on a massage bed, fully clothed, dim lights and everything. And basically all you have to do is relax.
That's hard for me. How
It
do you get
is.
people to relax?
Well, that's one of the joys of Reiki is that you almost can't not relax.
Okay.
If you are open and receptive of the things that can come of it, knowing that, you may not feel it immediately, but 3 days from now, may be like, oh, I haven't been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Like I've been a whole lot, my anxiety hasn't been as high, or, and they can focus on particular parts. If you have a bad knee, they can focus on how, it doesn't necessarily repair the body. It's the energetic body that they work on.
Tell me about the sound therapy.
Okay. Oh man, we have a lot of that. So we have 4 different practitioners that we work with every month on a regular basis. So every weekend, we normally every weekend we have some type of sound event going on. I've got different practitioners who are trained differently. So they use crystal and Tibetan bowls. They use.
I love those.
I know, it's just
the sounds.
There
Beautiful.
is. And so vibrational sound therapy, again, we are not just these meat suits. Vibrations affect us. I know that you love music and you like going to concerts. You like I do. I love that drum beat.
I love to dance.
Yeah. And there's something about that beat, that primal beat of the drum at a concert that just
it's healing,
soothes. It absolutely is. And vibrational sound therapy now, there are scientific studies that are showing that it can change your body on a cellular level.
Wow.
So you go into the salt cave with our events. All of our events are in the salt cave because it is the biggest space that we have, and it's so beautiful. So for $35, say, you go in, the practitioner is there. They either use, some of them have flutes, some of them are heavy on drums, some of them play gongs. We have one gentleman that can make his gong sound like the North American humpback whale when he's playing it. So when you're laying there, your eyes closed, all tucked in under this warm little blanket, laying in the salt, as comfortable as you can be, and then it sounds like you're swimming with the whales. It is the most incredible sensation. And when you're in the vibrational sound therapy, you can feel certain things. Like we did a gong bath, and which is, we have 2 practitioners with gongs. I didn't particularly care for it because it was uncomfortable for me, but it was hitting parts of me that needed to be released.
Okay.
2 days later, I was like, I feel so much better. And then I was like,
wow,
there must have been some resistance to let go of some stuff there.
Very cool.
Yeah. I could talk about this stuff all day. Sure. What else do you want to know?
Well, just share with me maybe an interesting story about the Saltville Spa.
We call ourselves the flock stars.
Okay.
We are heavy with flamingos. There are flamingos everywhere. Everybody's been finding them, but really because we have such a wonderful group of people that work there, and our customer service is top notch because we're all weirdos. We are. I said, probably we had been open for 3 or 4 months. We had some new employees. I was like, y'all remember Rudolph, the Island of Misfit Toys?
Yes.
That's really what we are. But everybody that walks in that door, everybody that comes there to work or be there, we wanted to create a safe space and be weird with us. We won't be, we won't be weird out of character, make people uncomfortable weird, but we will we pride ourselves. I don't even think I answered your question, but that's what came to my heart, is that we pride ourselves on taking care of people. Yes. It's not necessarily, yes, you come in for a service. Yes, there is finances that are exchanged, but the experience that you have there is so unlike anywhere else on this planet. I'm joyful to work there.
I bet you stay booked.
We, the weekends, most definitely. Wednesday, Thursday, it's a little easier to come in. We're open Wednesday through Sunday from 10 to 7. We sometimes close a little early, like, if there's nothing going on, then fine. We're a small business, so you may call and not get us on the phone because we're so booked that we can't answer the phone. So a lot of our stuff is done through email and text.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you primarily have women for customers, or do you have men?
We have a mixture of both, actually. It's really funny. One of my favorite things about are the women that drag their husbands in there. Like, he didn't know he was coming here today. And, the men are all like grumpy and like, I don't know, I don't want to be here. And then they're the ones that we have to like pour out the door like melted butter, because they come out of the room and they're just, just blank faced and like, that was awesome. It's like, told you, told you we were going to have a good time. So.
Oh, it sounds like there's a lot of health benefits, and that leads me to this question: do you take insurance?
We do not at this time. Our system, just some setup things that we are currently working on trying to take the health savings account, and because I know that a lot of massage therapy places can take that, but we're working on our setup on that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Have there been any challenges with the business?
It's a small business in a real weird economy right now. So, we definitely have come up with our challenges. Like I said, we were off and running day one, and we didn't even know what we were doing, at the day that we opened. Here's challenges. We didn't even have walls for our pods. Our sensory deprivation tanks got delayed shipping. So where we were putting them, we couldn't put walls up. So we opened and we're doing services for massage, and we were doing salt cave services and things. But there was a whole room that you couldn't even get into because there weren't even walls.
Wow.
We stepped over 2x4s for the first couple of weeks. And there was, we would schedule appointments around contractors. So, but yeah, just being a small business trying to survive, some people, we're considered a luxury, and we consider ourselves a necessity. You can come and see us for $20 and get a heck of an experience that you may just need a timeout or a little tiny nap.
Well, tell me about those sensory deprivation, the float pods. Is that what you were calling them?
Yeah, we call ours sunrise and sunset because they are painted a pink and blue room. I gratefully, thankfully, painted murals on the wall, so we've got really beautiful little art. That was the first mural I ever painted, so that was so really cool. Fun. So the boss, when I say we leaned into the salty vibe, we really do all things salty. But Ionic Foot Detoxes also use salt. We use salt scrubs for our hand and foot massages and things. But the sensory deprivation tanks, those things were designed back in the 50s. So like they've been around forever, but Joe Rogan is the one that I think made them really popular, talking about them on his podcast. So what it is just this little egg-shaped Mork from Ork looking, spaceship looking thing. And the lid opens up, and there is about 10.5 inches of water, but it is diluted with 1,000 pounds of Epsom salts. Wow. So it's a giant magnesium sulfate bath. Okay. And it's really good for anybody that has arthritis, or like autoimmune diseases where there's constant pain, people that are super stressed, people that work out a lot. Magnesium is really good for muscle relaxation and pain relief. So what you do, you clothed or unclothed, whichever you choose, bathing suit or not, you get into the water and you can't not float. You immediately just float. You lay back. Wow. And, for people who have neck issues, we've got these little rings that you can put under your neck. And I mean, you can't not. Your butt might touch the bottom, but every part of you is floating. So we turn off the circulation, you lay back, you have control of the light and the lid. So if you're claustrophobic, you do not have to close the lid, but you won't get the sensory deprivation part of it because there are lights. Okay. You lay back. We start you out, if you want, as a 45-minute, but I don't feel like that's long enough because your brain goes into chatter mode. And you're laying there thinking, like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? What's going on? What should I expect? You really have to be in there for a little bit longer to try to get over your thoughts. Okay. I tell people when they come in, I was like, it's you versus your thoughts right now. Your experience is based on you. It is unlike anybody else's experience. I
Okay.
can't tell you what to expect, but it's so cool. I'm a water baby anyway. I love being in the water. So anytime I can have an opportunity to take a warm bath, I'm going to get in.
I do like water too.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, being down here on the Gulf Coast, and the owner was originally from Florida, she was like, I'm really interested in this stuff. And we've actually just started a little float study of our own, where we've invited some of our clients to come in and do 4 floats within a 2-week period to try to track their improvement. We're
Okay.
working with people with PTSD. We've got somebody with high functioning anxiety. We've got somebody with a traumatic brain injury that is coming in because they experience headaches. He actually just did his first float today, and the video before and the video after was it almost made me want to cry, because he was like, I don't have any tension in my neck. He
Wow.
was like, I haven't felt it. And this was after his first float. So
I was going to ask you how often you recommend people to do these.
it really
Therapy
depends on
sessions.
what you're looking for.
Okay.
You know, we have people that come in every week for massage because that's what their body calls for.
Mhm.
But, you know, we've got great packages that are designed for either detoxing or muscle relief or athletic recovery. You know, I'd say come on in and see us every day, because that's where we like to be. Our employees, like, I have one employee specifically, and she knows who I'm talking to. Either we have to say, go home. And she was like, I'm clocked out. And it's like, but go home. But, you know, we have people that want to be at work because it's where their safe space is. It's just a really wonderful space to be.
I just hate that it's so far from us here on the Gulf Coast. I've
Hey,
got to get up to Snellville, Georgia.
Come on, it's 5.5 hours, except you have to get on 270 or 285 for just a brief minute. That can be a little rough sometimes.
Well, for those of us who aren't in the area, and
Mhm.
until we go visit,
Right.
how do we find this kind of service in our area?
You can Google salt caves near me,
Okay.
halo therapy, which is HALO. Halo is the Greek word for salt. There you go.
Okay.
You learned a little something
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Or you can do float centers near
Okay.
me. I know that there's a float center here in Pensacola,
Okay.
and I know that there's one in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and those are becoming more and more popular. So, and I think that there's actually a new one opening in Baldwin County.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I'm familiar with Meditation down in the Tampa Clearwater area. And I
Yep.
mentioned because they have the pods, and you had mentioned that
Yeah, we're
in a
our
group.
Facebook group buddies, because there's a collective group of float owners. You know, Facebook groups are great for things like
Yeah.
that, you know, if we're having trouble with, you know, the water's this color today, what happened? Oh, well, your pH levels are off, or you're this and this and this. So we have a support group for pod owners, because they don't come with many instructions whenever you get them. So
Wow.
that was a learning curve. That was fun.
Well, this has been incredible. I've learned so much,
Yeah.
and I really want to go visit
Come
the
on.
Saltville Spa, Grotto and Spa.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
So yeah, how am I here on the Gulf Coast? I do most of my stuff remotely. So I do all of our social media. I do the tech. I do the website. I do the computer system. I do our TikToks, which are TikToks, y'all.
Oh, fun.
They
I've
are
got to see
fun.
that.
Oh, they are fun.
Oh,
I have so much fun. We have so much fun.
Oh, I had another question. Do
Yeah.
you sell any merch?
We do.
Okay.
We've got pretty shiny rocks, because those are my favorite things on the planet. You know, my retirement is my collection of gemstones and rocks. We've got cold pressed soaps. We've got jewelry, and we sell sage and incense and anything you would kind of find at a metaphysical store. You know, we don't have a whole lot of retail space. We sell sage and Palo Santo, and our number one seller right now, which you can buy on our website, believe it or not, I just uploaded it this week, is our magnesium lotion.
Okay.
Our massage therapist recommended it. Of course, you know, we do magnesium in the float pods, but this lotion, I'm telling you, it helps with like arthritic pain. It is fantastic. We've already sold out of it twice, and the last 6 weeks and have already had to make another order. So,
Oh, wow.
and you can order that on the website.
That's good. I
Yeah.
was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
And more
can't wait.
products will be coming out for Christmas. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Was there anything else you want to share?
I just follow us for the adventure on social media, Facebook, Instagram. It's Saltville Grotto. Our hashtag is Let's Get Salty, because we are absolutely salty. We, as you can tell, I wore my Hawaiian print Golden Girls shirt for that. And it really is. If you're in and around the Atlanta area ever, it's about 45 minutes outside of the city. Just because of traffic, it's only about 28 miles, but it's about 45 minutes. But it's so worth the drive.
I'll definitely be visiting.
Yeah. And I'll hook you up.
Okay. Becky, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It was wonderful. I hope that everybody goes out and visits you too.
Yeah. But look in your area and look for classes for vibrational sound therapy.
Okay.
And if you want, send us an email through the website. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I love talking about all things woo woo and fun. So
yeah, sounds fun.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Sherry, and this is Becky with Burn the Ship 850.
All right.